guys, sorry for the less than stellar background at the moment. I'm in the middle of sort of reorganizing my room and yeah, that's fun. Alright, so today I am reviewing Dearest by Alethea Kontis. Right there. This is not the actual book, as I had an e-copy, an advanced reader. So if you are interested in reading this book, it comes out February 3rd, 2015, so it's not too long of a wait now, and you're probably going to want to read it. But it is the third book in a series, so you know that gives you plenty of time to read the first two books. That's Enchanted and Hero by Alethea Kontis. It's the Woodcutter Sisters series. Okay, so the latest installment of the Woodcutter Sisters series deals with Friday, the sweetest, kindest, and gentlest of the Woodcutter clan. Now, I have to be honest, Friday has not ever been my favorite of the Woodcutter sisters. I have nothing against her. There's nothing that I don't like about her character. It's just, you know, compared to the Pirate Queen Thursday, Wednesday with her black gowns and her poetry and her prophecies, sword hacking Saturday and Sunday and her magic words, Friday with her big heart and her magic needle seemed a little, well, just a little bit dull compared to all of her siblings. Boy, was I wrong. Friday was the perfect sister for the story because it played right into her wheelhouse, the need for a big open heart and mad sewing skills. Friday discovers that the 7 swans living in the palace pond are only swans by day. By night, they are transformed into their true selves of 7 cursed brothers, and she is determined to help them. And of course, she falls in love with one of them along the way. Much like Friday herself, through the course of this book, I learned just how powerful a strength such a big open heart can be for yourself and for everyone around you. Dearest explored a lot more of Friday's character than we've seen in the series up to this point, and she may have just become my favorite of all the sisters. She isn't a warrior or a hero. She doesn't have any ambitions loftier than becoming a master seamstress and a nun in the Abbey of the Earth Goddess. She loves to help and serve people, and I love that this was depicted as a character strength. I found Friday a completely wonderful character because she's sweet and she's kind, but never simperingly so. A lot of stories, when they have a goody two-shoes character, they can be very grating, often intentionally so, and Friday is not. She's very realistic, she's very down to earth, and she has very real and relatable emotional struggles. So I found her the easiest of all the Woodcutter sisters to kind of relate to, because I think if I were any of the Woodcutter sisters, I would probably be either Sunday or Friday. And I have quite a goody two-shoes streak myself, so I really enjoyed seeing a character who was not even the tiniest bit irritating. Like the other books in the series, Dearest is, at heart, a love story. And like all of the books, it is split into the two perspectives, the perspective of the hero and the perspective of the heroine. Something that I have always appreciated about Alethea's series is that neither the hero nor the heroine is ever too romanticized. They each have flaws, which they usually overcome on their own throughout the course of the story, and they can often clash with each other, and they always have their own personal struggles and storylines outside of the romance plot. For me, it deepens the whole experience of a book when there's more than just a love story going on. Or when a bloodthirsty warmonger or a little political conspiracy along with a love story. Now that's my kind of book. There was only one thing about the story that I was a little disappointed about, and that is that Hero, the previous book in the series. I felt like it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, and so I was really looking forward to finding out what happened next, but Dearest actually takes place parallel to Hero, so it occupies the same place in the timeline. It just talks about something that happened to different characters while the events of Hero were going on, instead of moving further along the storyline and sort of picking up from where that cliffhanger kind of left off. So while Dearest was a really, really good book, I still have to wait to find out what happened next, and I was a little disappointed. And with Dearest, even though it didn't take me further into the storyline, it still advanced deeper into the larger unfolding story because it does pick up and play with some other connections along the way. One thing I adore about the Woodcutter Sisters series is all of the tongue-in-cheek references to classic fairy tales. Unlike a true retelling of these tales, like Ella Enchanted or Princess of the Midnight Ball, where the story is the tale, albeit with a new twist, Alethea's use of the classic fairy tales feels almost incidental. Yes, you could say that Dearest is a retelling of the Seven Swans, and you could say that Enchanted was a retelling of the Frog Prince, but to say that about either would be doing a great injustice to both of these books, because there is just so much more to them than that. The Woodcutter series inhabits a complex world of fae and magic, gods and religions, fate and destiny. And if some of the events that occur within this world happen to tickle a memory from Grimm or Anderson, well, that's just a coincidence. Alethea's nods to the classics know no bounds. They are sewn into the fabric of the woodcutter's reality so gracefully, so seamlessly, that it never once distracts the reader. It becomes more like a private shared joke between the reader and the author. Case in point, the orphans that Friday takes to looking after being referred to as her darlings. In Dearest, I got a different flavor of the world than I have in previous books, specifically with the kind of deities and religious practices that exist. This combination of gods and fae is particularly interesting to me. In my experience, these have always seemed like opposing ideas in the fantasy genre. You either have gods and religious practices, or you have fae and magic. But Alethea has blended them together with a realistic flourish. They inhabit another realm where magic abounds, and they sometimes intermarry with humans, and their offspring then have the ability to use magic. But magic can also be a blessing bestowed upon favored humans by their patron gods. And like the Greek pantheon, there are plenty to choose from. Now, there is not so much in this book about the gods and religious practices as to become dull or even too different from the previous novels, but just enough to explain some occurrences within the book. It also helps to clue me in that this is a seriously complex and detailed world spread out before us, and we still have a lot to learn about it. I, for one, can't wait. 4 stars to Dearest by Alethea Kontis, and I would definitely recommend this series to anyone who likes fantasy, specifically fairy tale retellings. I am so convinced that you will like this series that I am doing a giveaway for the first book in the Woodcutter Sisters series, Enchanted by Alethea Kontis, right here, right now. Now, I do apologize because this giveaway is only open to US residents. Sorry guys, but I can't afford shipping outside of the country. If you want to enter, just subscribe to my channel and leave a comment on the video below. For those of you watching this video elsewhere, you will have to leave the comment on the video's YouTube page, and I'm sure that you can find it if you're watching this video. So that's the only way to enter into this giveaway. You subscribe to my channel and leave a comment on the video's YouTube page. The giveaway will end on January 15th, so you've got 2 weeks to enter. When I bought the book to do the giveaway, I kind of mentioned to the author that I was doing a giveaway, so it is a signed copy, and it is a beautifully signed copy right there. So this is the copy that I am giving away, this beautifully signed edition. Woot! Plus, she gave me quite a bit of swag to go along with it, so you get this lovely postcard with the Dearest cover, because Dearest comes out in a month, February 3rd, 2015. Remember, I mentioned the date earlier, but now you probably really want to read the books. So, we've got this postcard, signed, an Enchanted postcard, a Hero postcard, this was the second book in the series, and then a couple of other various postcards from the author, just talking about some other stuff that she's done, and a bookmark. So this is all going to be included into the giveaway. All of this stuff right here. Swag. Alright guys, 2 weeks to enter, ends on January 15th, open only to US residents. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment on the video's YouTube page, share this video, and good luck guys.